Hi everyone, my name is Nitya Kumar Sharma. I'm a senior software engineer at Snowflake. Today, we are going to talk about a new Snowflake feature that allows customers to access GenAI and external LLMs from their Snowflake account in a secure manner. As we go through this demo, we will highlight various aspects of this external connectivity while ensuring secure access using Snowflake's role-based access control. GenAI and LLMs are disrupting the way we work at global scale. Snowflake is making it easy for customers to quickly and securely get value from their enterprise data using LLMs and AI through new offerings that enable everyday users to incorporate LLMs into analytical processes in seconds and developers to create GenAI-powered apps in minutes or execute powerful workflows like fine-tuning foundation models on enterprise data in hours. These advancements enable developers and analysts of all skill levels to bring GenAI to the already secure and governed enterprise data within their Snowflake security perimeter. External access is a new feature from Snowflake that allows secure and seamless connections to services like large language models, external data providers, and SaaS endpoints on the internet from Snowpark code. For the purpose of this demo, we'll use Amazon Bedrock as the external service. Amazon Bedrock is a fully managed service that makes foundation models from leading AI startups and Amazon, like Amazon Titan, AI21 Labs, Anthropic, Cohere, and Stability AI, available via an API. With Bedrock's serverless experience, you can easily find the right model for what you're trying to get done, get started quickly, and privately customize the foundation models with your own data. You can easily integrate and deploy these foundation models into your applications using the AWS tools and capabilities you're familiar with without having to manage any infrastructure. To access Amazon Bedrock from Snowflake, you can use the short-lived AWS STS credentials to authenticate and access the Amazon Bedrock endpoints. I'll start with a simple demo where we talk to Amazon Bedrock from Snowflake. The purpose of this first demo is to familiarize the viewers with the securable objects involved in setting up external connectivity from Snowflake. I'm going to use the account admin role for the first demo so that I don't have to set up additional permissions. We'll cover permissions in the second demo. I'm going to use the account admin role for the first demo so that I don't have to set up additional permissions. We'll cover permissions in the second demo. Now, I'm going to my Snowflake account, and like I said, I'm going to use the account admin role. Now, I'm going to create a database where most of the securable objects are going to reside. Now, the first securable object that I need to create is a network rule. A network rule specifies what endpoints are allowed to be accessed from the account. So for the purpose of this demo, I'm going to allow access to Amazon Bedrock's endpoint in US West 2. If an endpoint, for example, AWS S3, is not allowed by network rules, access to it will be denied. The next object that I need to create is a secret. A secret object helps you get your credentials into your UDFs in a secure manner so that you can use them to authenticate with the remote service. Now that I have my network rules and secrets, the next object that I'm going to create is an external access integration. An external access integration binds network rules and secrets so that account admins can control what secrets are used with what integrations. I'm going to create the external access integration. Now, the next object that I'm going to create is a user-defined function where I make the call to Amazon Bedrock. So this is my user-defined function where, if you can see, I'm referring to the integration that we just created and also to the secret object that we are going to use in our function. I'm going to create my UDF. If you see the definition, you can see that we are talking to Amazon Bedrock in US West 2, and we are using the Amazon Titan model. Now that we have our user-defined function, let's go and ask Amazon Bedrock something about Snowflake. So I'm going to now call my user-defined function and ask Bedrock something about Snowflake. So we got some response from Amazon Bedrock. Amazon Bedrock is telling us Snowflake is a cloud-based data warehouse built on a shared architecture, and it is designed to run on all major clouds, and some additional information. This looks good. Now, let's go back to our presentation. As you saw in the demo, there are 4 securable objects that are needed to connect to external services: network rules, secrets, external access integrations, and user-defined functions. Each of these objects are covered by privileges that can be controlled separately. Let's go through the same example again, but with multiple roles this time. I'm going to start again with the account admin role. And I'm now going to, again, create a database where my secureable objects are going to reside. This time, I'm going to create multiple schemas, one for each of the secureable objects that we are going to manage. So I'm going to create a network rules schema for managing network rules, a secret schema for managing secrets, and a UDF schema for managing user-defined functions. I'm also going to create multiple roles, separate roles, each of them managing a secureable object. I'm going to create a network admin role for managing network rules, a secrets admin role for managing secrets, an integration owner role for managing integrations, and a function owner role for managing functions. Now, for the purpose of this demo, I'm going to assign all these roles to my current user so that I don't have to keep switching the users for this demo. So now I'm going to assign network rules, secret admin, integration owner, and function owner role to my current user. As an account admin, you want to manage what privileges are owned by what roles to allow them to do their assigned duties. For network admin, I'm going to give them usage on the Bedrock DB database and also on the network rules schema. I'm also going to give them create network rule privilege so that they can create and delete network rules in that schema. Similarly, for secrets admin role, I'm going to give them usage on the Bedrock database and usage on the secret schema. And I'm also going to give them create secret privilege so that they can manage secrets, but only in the secrets schema. The next role that I'm going to assign privileges to is the integration owner role. For this role, I'm going to assign usage on the Bedrock DB schema, on the Bedrock DB database, and also on the network rules and secret schemas so that they can refer to these schemas when they are creating external access integration. I also need to give them create integration privilege so that they can create the integration objects. For function owner, I need to give them usage on the database and also on the UDF and secret schemas because they refer to these objects during function creation. I also need to give them create schema privilege on the UDF schema so that they can manage function objects. Since the function owner is going to be using the warehouse, I need to give them usage on the warehouse objects as well. Now, let's go through the same flow again, and this time we are going to use separate roles to manage each of the objects. I'm going to start with the network admin role, and I'm going to use the network rules schema because that is the only schema I can use as a network admin. So I'm now going to create the same network rule that allows us to talk to Amazon Bedrock. Similarly, I'm going to go and use the secrets admin role with secrets in and use the secret schema and create my AWS credentials secret. Now I'm going to use the integration owner role to create external access integration. If you notice, I have not assigned any privilege to the integration owner on the network rule or the secret that I just created. So let's see what happens. If you see, I get an error about not having access to the network rule. So I'm going to assume the network admin role and grant usage on the network rule I just created to the integration owner. Similarly, I need to use the secrets admin role and give usage privilege on the secret to the integration owner role. I'm going to assume the secrets admin role and then grant usage on the secret to the integration owner. Now let's use the integration owner role again and try to create the external access integration. This time, since I have all the right privileges, creation of external access integration succeeds. Now, as an account admin, I need to be careful about who has access to this external access integration because anyone with this with usage on this integration will be able to use it to talk to outside services. So for the purpose of this demo, I'm going to grant usage to the function owner role. Now I'm going to create my user-defined function that refers to the integration and to the secret. If you see, we get an error because we have not given the function owner any access to the secret. So let's do that. So I'm going to again assume the secrets admin role and grant read privilege to the function owner role. Similarly, I need to use the secrets admin role and give usage privilege on the secret to the integration owner role. I'm going to assume the secrets admin role and then grant usage on the secret to the integration owner. Now let's use the integration owner role again and try to create the external access integration. This time, since I have all the right privileges, creation of external access integration succeeds. Now, as an account admin, I need to be careful about who has access to this external access integration, because anyone with with usage on this integration will be able to use it to talk to outside services. So for the purpose of this demo, I'm going to grant usage to the function owner role. Now I'm going to create my user-defined function that refers to the integration and to the secret. If you see, we get an error because we have not given the function owner any access to the secret. So let's do that. So I'm going to again assume the secrets admin role and grant read privilege to the function owner role. Now that the function owner has access to the secret, they should be able to use it in their user-defined function. So let's try that again. And if you see, this time, the function creation succeeds because we have all the right privileges. Now let's go and ask Bedrock the same question again. And the function execution should be successful because we have all the right privileges and right setup. Now that we have our UDF, let's ask Bedrock the same question again. And we should be able to execute the function and get an answer from Amazon Bedrock. And as you see, we get a similar blurb from Bedrock about Snowflake being a multi-cloud data warehouse. To recap, setting up external access involves 4 Snowflake database secureable objects, and each of these objects can be managed separately. For simplicity, customers can also choose to manage some of these objects through a single admin role. For instance, in the previous example, network rules, secrets, and integrations could have been managed by a single admin role. I hope this was helpful. For additional resources, including the documentation and a quick start guide to try this out yourself, check out the links in the video description. Thank you for watching.